When you think of Syracuse basketball, you think of winning.
Syracuse is your national champion.
You think of the greats.
Boy, you've got to love the way this young man plays.
You think of the atmosphere.
35,000 plus fans here tonight.
3 seconds at midcourt. Gillen, 25-footer. Yeah! John Gillen is beaten Duke.
It hasn't been that way the past couple of years.
Some of the things that you need to do to win a game, we're just not doing. Just not doing.
The Syracuse Orange men's basketball team has a rich history, a program that is 7th all-time in wins with 41 NCAA tournament appearances, 6 Final Fours, and a national championship win in 2003. On April 2, 1976, Syracuse hired assistant coach and former player Jim Boeheim after head coach Roy Danforth left the program for a job at Tulane. In Boeheim's 47 years at the helm, he led the Orange to 46 winning seasons and became the second winningest head coach in NCAA history. Boeheim made Syracuse a name recognized and feared throughout college basketball with his implementation of the 2-3 zone.
Syracuse University in Syracuse, New York. And inside, you may be looking at history. It could be the largest on-campus crowd ever in college basketball.
Syracuse, the last shot. Washington, 2 seconds.
Pearl's hands behind the back. The Pearl putting on a show. He's got it!
And not look for shots.
The steal by Douglas. Thompson! Syracuse leads it, 60-59.
The Orange had been a great program up until 2003, but they didn't have one thing: a championship.
Looks like he's going to take it to him. McNamara, 3. Look at this shot. Collison's running the baseline.
Again.
McNamara. Oh, this is pretty calming too. McNamara with another.
The top of the key. Heinrich with 4 seconds. Gives it up corner. Lee shot blocked. They have less than a second to go. And Heinrich gets it. Heinrich puts up the shot. It's too long. And Syracuse is your national champion.
Has New Orleans given us Final Fours or not?
Was there a point in the 2003 season where you realized that that team had a chance of winning it all?
Yes, it was sometime in February of that season, but they took a rare non-conference road trip to Michigan State. They went outside the Big East, and they've been playing well, beating their Big East opponents. I think they had dropped the game to Connecticut on the road. They didn't lose at home that whole season, but they took that road trip to Michigan State. Michigan State's historically, great program. Their Breslin Center is a really tough place to play. When Syracuse won that game, and then they backed it up with a couple other road games. I remember there was a road trip, I think either just before or just after that, to Notre Dame. And then when they started picking off teams on the road, not just at home, that's when you started to think to yourself, or I thought to myself, this team's going to be a really tough out in March.
After the national championship win, Syracuse enjoyed plenty more success over the next 10 years. From the 2003-2004 season to their last season in the Big East in 2013, the Orange went 267-88 with 8 tournament appearances and a Final Four appearance in 2012-2013.
Pitt and Syracuse are moving to the ACC, and the Panthers and the Orange will have a shot at the Orange Bowl every year.
On September 18, 2011, the ACC announced that Syracuse had accepted an invitation to join the conference on July 1, 2013. Syracuse couldn't have gotten off to a better start in a new conference. The Orange started 25-0 and were ranked number 1 in the country. But as the cookie had crumbled in every year but 2003, Syracuse fell short. They would finish the year 28-6 and lose in the second round to 11-seeded Dayton. The NCAA had released an infractions report that the YMCA of Oneida had paid over $8,000 to 5 Syracuse athletes over the course of a year, and Syracuse standout big Fab Melo had received improper assistance from a tutor on an assignment. He was allowed to resubmit his assignment, but it was again found that Syracuse staffers had written the assignment for him. For punishment, Syracuse had self-imposed a 1-year ban from postseason play, but the NCAA decided that wasn't enough. The NCAA vacated 101 of Jim Boeheim's wins and took away 2 scholarships from the Orange over the next 4 seasons.
I thought it was a harsh penalty, very harsh penalty, because it wasn't just about Fab Melo and his eligibility. They were docking Syracuse for players getting a little bit of money for running a clock at a camp, at a boys' camp or whatever, out in Oneida County. It was ridiculous, I thought. I thought it was very overly harsh.
Despite all of this, Jim Boeheim had one more run in him. The 2015-2016 Syracuse Orange came into the season with lower expectations than they were used to. 1 year removed from their self-imposed tournament ban, Syracuse had lost key bigmen Rakeem Christmas and Chris McCullough. To replace them, they were going to look towards incoming four-star freshman Tyler Lydon and returning sophomore Tyler Robertson to fill their roles. Syracuse would silence some of those doubters with a 6-0 start, including winning the battle for Atlantis. The key contributor in the 6-0 start was senior guard Michael Benajay. Things would start to slip for the Orange after their perfect beginning to the year. Syracuse would finish the season 13-13, and that would be good enough to get them a 10 seed in the NCAA tournament. For their first-round matchup, Syracuse would be faced off against 7-seeded Dayton, where they would get a dominant 70-51 win behind Michael Benajay's 20 points and Tyler Robertson's 18 rebounds. Syracuse would advance to the Elite Eight after a dominant 70-50 win over Middle Tennessee State and a 63-60 win over Gonzaga in the Sweet 16.
Michael Benajay's on him. Parenta's a three.
There's a spot out there that has number 32 on it.
6, Richardson knifing his way. Richardson three. Richardson got the ball, handcuffed and put up and in. Richardson has gone mad. Jim Boeheim and Syracuse have done it back from the dead. On Easter Sunday, they're going to the Final Four.
A 15-point second-half comeback against one-seeded Virginia would propel Syracuse to their 6th Final Four appearance, where they would lose to North Carolina. The last few seasons of Boeheim's career would be some of SU's worst up to that point. With Boeheim getting older and the three-point shot becoming more prominent than ever, the 2-3 zone would become less and less effective. In Boeheim's final 7 seasons, Syracuse would only be ranked 2 more times, with the last time coming in the 2018-2019 season. After 47 years, it was time for Syracuse to make a change. In the 2 seasons before Boeheim's exit, Syracuse went 15-16 and 17-15. Their 2 lowest totals of wins in a season in 50 years. The 78-year-old decided it was finally time to call it quits. This would put athletic director John Wildhack and the Orange in a spot they hadn't been in 5 centuries.
The new head coach of the Syracuse men's basketball program, Adrian Autry, joining us now. Adrian, how does it feel to hear Syracuse head coach as your new title?
It's taking some time to get used to it, but sounds good and I'm excited.
On March 8, 2023, Syracuse made assistant coach and former player Adrian "Red" Autry the program's 8th head coach in its 119-year history. Autry was an assistant on Jim Boeheim's staff for 12 seasons before becoming head coach of the program. In Adrian Autry's 3 seasons at the helm, Syracuse would go 49-48 while going 24-34 in conference. In 24-25, they would suffer their most losses in a season since 1961-1962 with 19. Adrian Autry had one more chance in the 2025-2026 season, a top recruiting class with key transfers, and the Orange returning their top 2 scorers in Donnie Freeman and J.J. Starling.
86-69 is going to be the final.
Safe to say that did not go well. Autry would be fired by the university on March 11, 2026, and the search for a new head coach would begin. Syracuse chose to follow the same blueprint as they did in hiring Autry. On March 24, 2026, Syracuse decided to make former player and one of the heroes of the 2003 National Championship season the 9th head coach of the program.
McNamara, a 3-point
Well, Jerry McNamara, we wouldn't have won 10 games this year. Not 10.
McNamara to Diemendorf, and they've got their first lead of the night. Snap right between the eyes. He would just let this bus on fire.
Lock and load. A little nylon from Scranton, PA.
Look at this shot. Oh, my goodness. He has unbelievable range and unbelievable confidence for a freshman. And Syracuse is your national champion.
Hope was instantly restored in the community after this announcement. In 2025-2026, Syracuse had their lowest average home attendance since the basketball team started playing home games in the Carrier Dome. But if one person could inspire hope and change in a program that hasn't made the tournament in 6 years and hasn't been ranked in 8, it would be Jerry McNamara.
Anybody that knows me knows why I'm here. I'm here to win. It's who I am, and it's who I will always be. Let's get this thing going.